Is454. I'm Professor Fahmi Jalani. Today we'll be talking about predictive analytics for lecture 7. Some agenda, we'll be taking a look at big data, analytics itself, an overview, some of the application, business application, and also the tools in the market. First, we take a look at the Gartner hype cycle. Here we have the expectation versus time for the various product in the market, from bioacoustic sensor to all the way to speech recognition. And this is to the cycle of 2014. We see that there's a increase of data-driven product, for example. And it's like a wave. So some of the question we should ask is, what are the things happening for every 60 seconds? Here we see clockwise from the top, there's about 13 hours of music streaming, 12,000 new ads posted, voice call on Skype, tweet 3200, 320, 100 LinkedIn account, and so on and so forth. This is basically on the internet. So every 60 seconds, in terms of hardware or any other things, in terms of goods, consumer product, here we have from Microsoft software, 450 CD being sold, 12 website got hacked, attempt is 416, and we see there is an increase, and there's a lot of activity, both hardware and software. With this, it leads to a very big thing, which is the big data, or refer it as the 5V. So the big data is a high volume, high velocity, and high variety information asset that demand cost-effective, innovative forms of information processing for enhanced insight and decision making. From big volume, big velocity, high velocity, variety of data sources, and veracity of uncertain data. And today we see companies taking advantage on this bandwagon of big data, especially Amazon, for example, where they use customer pattern or customer buying needs on their advantage to push other product to the customer, so that to increase profit. Some survey on big data. So from this percentage of respondent to from 2013 to 2014. You notice that not much company having any plan to invest on the data that they have. But there is a high experiment growth on the data that they have. It will be analytics, data analytics um, or analysis. So what is analytics? Here we see on the graph competitive advantage against maturity analytic capabilities that we covered on previous classes, where the raw data is being extracted, then transferred and loaded from sense and respond to predict and act to have their end product. Alternative, we have the awesome process. Okay, is rhymes by awesome, which is first is obtain data, followed by scrub data, explore. So this explore should be the third one. Okay, data and model data, and last but not least, and is interpret result. So what is predictive analytics? So basically, it's practice of extracting insight from existing data set with the help of data mining, statistical modeling, and machine learning techniques, and using it to predict unobserved unknown event. This will be identified by a cause and effect relationship across historical data, which is the raw data, right? And the patterns, discovering insight and patterns with the help of data mining and technique, which I mentioned earlier. Apply observed pattern to know in the past, present, and future. Okay. A lot of companies do that, even for example the weather. Okay. Where meteorologists predict weather and even temperature of the environment that is going to be in the near future. It could be used for agriculture, could be used for airline, for example, transportation, okay, and many more. For the process cycle, we have the objective, preparation, modeling, deployment, and monitoring, which is basically the cycle of the predictive analytics. Some of the methods, we have regression, which is predict output variables using cause and effect. Okay. Classification, decision tree, okay, regression, logistic, time series forecasting. They use past history to predict the future. Also, we have situation rule mining. Items occurred together. Okay. A priori algorithm. Okay. Clustering, we mentioned earlier in our previous slide. Classes, k-means, hierarchy, non-hierarchy, text mining, model and structure the information context of textual sources. Let's take a look at evaluating predictive model. A few things we need to check the predictive model from our sample performance. Model assessment could be hit rate, Gini coefficient, KKS chart. These are some examples of the chart. So where it could be used, I mentioned earlier, smarter healthcare, in order to predict, for example, to be prepared of the flu season, for example, by the numbers of people reporting sick from the previous season and getting ready for the antibiotics, for example. Multi-channel sales, finance, renewable, factory failures, traffic control, telecommunication, spam filter, manufacturing, trading, which is quite common in stocks, fraud risk, and retail. Okay. Moving on, some other business application, supply chain, basically simulation, inventory reduction, customer profiling, loyalty cards, for example, rewards cards, pricing. This is practiced commonly in you can see example in Walmart, for example, where they have a big data and even their own satellite to analyze the goods movement and the customer purchasing style, human resource, for example, optimize compensation, okay, and retention. Renewable energy, forecasting electricity, for example, during the winter season. Okay. Financial services, option stocks, e-commerce, cross-selling, upselling, Amazon, eBay. Okay. Product quality control, what the pattern or some of the issues that they find commonly, for example, in manufacturing line, so they can rectify it and improve on the processes, on the product, and the quality of the product. Revenue performance, key revenue generation, for example, stocks, okay, fraud, crime detections, okay, cyber security, right, spam, for example, healthcare, mentioned earlier in terms of flu shot prediction, getting prepared, the number of vaccination. Some of the tools that available in the market, SPSS, Python, which is a freeware, you can get SAP and many others, okay? MATLAB too. So that's pretty much for lecture 7. If you have any question, please feel free to email me and or set up an appointment in my office. And thank you very much. Bye bye. You stay safe.